Hi, I'm Ashy. Welcome to my January alphabet painting series. So this year I decided to choose a New Year's resolution that I feel like is actually doable, and that is for the first 26 days of the year, to paint a small, quick watercolor sketch that corresponds with the letters of the alphabet. This will help me be disciplined and help me paint daily for this first, month or so. And hopefully this will help me also build that habit of creativity and just pulling out the paints every single day. And it's just building that habit of creativity. Let me know if you have any New Year's resolutions that you are deciding on for yourself this year. I'd love to hear your different ideas in the comments. So for each of these videos, I'll be using the brand new sketchbook that I'm starting this year. It's Moleskine watercolor album. It's not the highest quality paper, but for quick watercolor sketches, it does the job. Let's jump in. So now we have day 8, and H is for hat. So just gonna sketch out a floppy sun hat here and getting a nice half circle shape here for the top. And the biggest thing with all of these sketches is just breaking down whatever object it is into shapes. So some of the objects may look more complex than others, but all of them are made up of basic shapes. So this one's a half circle, and then the bottom of the half circle is just a little bit of an arced line instead of a straight line. Okay, and then we're going to come down from that side there toward the edge, just a diagonal line there, and then we're just going to have a curve. So here we're going to sweep down, and this is going to be kind of like an S curve. So sweep down like that, come back up, and arch kind of over, and then back down. Okay, and then this side we have another diagonal line, and then we are going to see the underside of the hat a little bit. So here we're going to have just another kind of S line, and we're going to come up to the edge of the hat, and then we're going to come back down and kind of have it come around a little bit there. Okay. I just think it needs to be a little bit longer. So just gonna erase that part and do it again. So that's the benefit of using a pencil at the beginning, is that you can erase it and do it again. Okay, so the kneaded eraser, and when I use a kneaded eraser, I just kind of roll it on the paper to lift up some of that graphite so that it's a nice light wash. And this one's going to be important for it to be a light, I said light wash, nice light tracing. This is going to be a white floppy sun hat, so it needs to be a very light pencil line so that you're not seeing it. For the hat then, because it is a white color. We just have to decide on a shadow color and kind of an undertone, and I want it to be pretty purely gray, so just getting a light wash of black here, and there's a little bit of Payne's gray in there too. And then we're just gonna start by touching the very edge of the hat, just really lightly, and just getting that general shape in. And then with this, I'm just going to clean off my brush and just kind of touch the inside of it to get a tiny bit of a softer line and a little bit of a bleed. Now I should have gone a little faster with that, but my dog was coming to the door and trying to get in here and just generally being kind of noisy and annoying when I'm trying to film. So it's a little dry, so I'm kind of having to scrub at it a little bit. Now to tap along the transition from where the hat goes up to where it's the brim, just going to tap in a tiny bit of paint there as well. And then I'm going to start working on the shadows while I'm here. So the top part of this hat, not the top part, this right side of the hat is going to be in shadow. So I'm just going to wet that up. And then drop in a little bit of that same gray. And let it bleed out. Okay. And now to do the brim of the hat. So same idea, just kind of touch the edge here. Get a little bit of water on the brush. And then generally soften it a little bit. Then this is still a little bit damp, so I'm going to go in and add another kind of darker wash here for the shadow, because there just wasn't quite enough contrast there. And now the neighbor's dog is barking. My dogs are inside, they're not barking, but super annoying. So just touching the underside of this hat now, and getting that darkness to show the shadowed underside of the hat. Okay, so the shape of the hat is in, and the shadow here is in. Now I just have to add a little bit of a shadow on kind of this part, and then I'm just going to deepen up that shadow a little bit again. So this is just adding extra layers basically. I had started the shadow and I just want it to be a little bit deeper. So adding it in, and then drying off the brush, touching that edge to soften it some. And then I'm just going to add a tiny bit of a shadow kind of here where it swoops down, just because I feel like not as much light would be hitting it there. But that one's a little bit more subtle. Okay, now I'm going to take my liner brush and do some very light lines to show kind of like the wovenness of it, but it's not very obvious, and the key to this is going to be to make them follow kind of the shape of the hat. And these don't have to go all the way across, because it's just to hint at that texture. These dogs are gonna drive me insane. I can't even think. So for this side, because it goes down and then back up, I need these lines to kind of follow that. And again, they don't have to go all the way from one end to the other, because that would be like overpowering, right? The pattern. So just kind of do some hints here and there. All right, so now just the final kind of step is I'm just going to use some clean water and brush it over those lines that I just drew to kind of soften it. And I'm generally following the direction of the lines that I made. I don't know that it matters that much, but generally following it. And then like here, I feel like I went overboard, so I'm going to lift some of that up. So just taking some clean water, brushing it on, and then lifting with the paper towel. And then here, just lift a little bit to get a highlight back in there. So there is hat. Now I'm going to try to use a flat wash brush to do the H instead of a round brush. So I'm going to use blue, and just to make it nice and saturated, I'm going to go straight into my palette for that blue and not go off of my mixing wells. Okay, H. Is 4, and calligraphy. So I feel like this series has been more about calligraphy and, yes, painting every day, but getting this calligraphy stuff down. Okay. Okay, hat. Day 8, H is for hat. Thanks for watching. I really hope you enjoyed it and I hope you learned something. Be sure to subscribe to my channel and hit that notification bell to see when each of my new videos drops. Have an awesome day.